Hello everyone, this is Jess. Right now is a different environment because I'm in in my closet because I have a new package and my family are all downstairs. I do want to take a look at it first before I actually put them into use and test it out for myself. So this is a package from Pen Boutique. I have bought another pen before, but this time when I intended to buy this new pen, they have it for pre-sale, so I got from them. And at the same time I ordered a couple of inks. So one is called Grand Prism from, I think, Colorverse, right? Yes, from Colorverse. And then the Sailor Ink Studio 252. And together I also got some basic Pilot cartridge. So this pen, I really want to do a quick unboxing first. So this is the limited edition Vanishing Point for 2024, and I do really want to take a look at it like right now. But so this is my first Vanishing Point for myself. I previously has get my dad the matte black version and my mom one of the decimal. I forgot the color. I think it's champagne, and both of them told me that they really like it. So yeah, this is also kind of my first retractable fountain pen, so I'm really interested to see how you will work. And at the same time, this is a very wonderful version of the fountain pen. So it's L. What does L mean? Blue? Why is blue L? I need to. Oh, yes, and blue and black all start with B. I see. Okay. I got a little bit confused, but yeah. So here is the outside packaging. It says Pilot Limited Edition, and box opens up like this. Ta-da! Yeah, and then this is the pen. So basically, I pretty much can set it on the table like this, present it this way. I don't know if the Vanishing Point Limited Edition has other size of nibs, but I think as far as I see, this one are pretty much all medium. And the capless, it is actually girthier than I expected. So maybe I was expecting something to be as slender as a decimal. I guess decimal is slender, more skinnier. But yeah, this is how I hold it. So it is kind of like a metal body and with lacquer and the color. So it's kind of, you have a turquoise at the end of the barrel, and then the top is more like a sandy beige, sandy white, sandy ivory. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a relatively light color, and it's kind of a gradient effect. And here's the inside. So I believe it came with I'm still not that good with this. Oh, so this is actually is the 40, right? This is the 40 40 converter instead of instead of, wait, did I miss the spring? Oh. I'm kind of afraid I will mess this up. Let me, yeah, there it is. The cartridge, the converter inside of the 70. Yeah, I have a Pilot's, what they call this Con 70 converter in my in both of the custom 742 and 743. I think that one's not bad. I don't hate it, but I understand why people don't like it. Sometimes when you like pump it, it kind of it might splash ink everywhere. Okay, I think I'll test it out, and that's the reason why I got this turquoise ink from Colorverse. But I do have a couple of other turquoise color, so I will compare those and see if I really want to put turquoise ink or teal ink inside it, or do I just go with standard black Pilot cartridge, because I think that's also a very nice opaque black ink. All right. So it has been a few days since I shoot my unboxing, but I did swatch the ink and also test out the pen a little bit. So for the ink, very interestingly, I think the Colorverse Grand Prism looks significantly lighter than expected. So it's a kind of like a sheer light turquoise, or even I don't think it's almost like a green rather than turquoise on the paper. So I have Sterling ink with Tomoe River paper here, and also the Midori paper as a comparison. So this is what it looks like on the page, and of course I swatched the other turquoise ink I have, which is the Aqua Lagoon I had for quite a while. So yeah, so you can see that this Grand Prism is definitely a very light color. So I figured that might not be the best fit for the pen, at least not for daily use, for journal writing, at least in my opinion. But I also swatched the Sailor Studio 252. It's you can see that it's like a pinkish purple color with almost like a green shade at the edge. That's a very interesting color, but I find out that it's very similar to an ink sample I got from Birmingham Pen Co, the Chrysanthemum. Yeah, it's kind of similar to that. Maybe the sheen, so it's more green on this Sailor Ink Studio. I also have that swatch on Tomoe River paper in the past. Let me see if I can find it. It has been a while since I swatched that ink. So right here. So Chrysanthemum. It has the purpley color, and also have a almost like a green brown edge shade. I think on the screen it might appear slightly darker, deeper in color than I see in person, but that's kind of what the two new inks looks like on paper. Because of that, I decided to not use either of them for the Vanishing Point. I end up get the Pilot black cartridge inside of this pen. So I'll do a writing sample here. So it is a medium size nib for the limited edition, and it's the Pilot Vanishing Point Limited Edition 2024. It has a medium nib. It also has the rhodium trim, and the ink is the Pilot black cartridge. And yeah, I think this ink, yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of wet. And so I also have another Pilot pen, the Cavalier, with this ink. I almost feel like the Cavalier, because of the fine nib, it almost feel like the ink looks more opaque for some reason in the Cavalier than compared to in the Vanishing Point. I don't know if that's something commonly seen. And yeah, so far I really enjoy writing with this pen. I think it writes very smooth, and with I don't think it has a lot of feedback. So yeah, I personally really enjoy writing with this pen. And when I hold it in my hand, it feels substantial. This is made from a metal. I don't know what kind of metal. I'm assuming alloy with this very pretty lacquer. Yeah, and I hope with this black ink, I'm thinking I will probably use it more than just have a very colorful ink that's not very. I wouldn't use it on a daily basis. And I end up ink my other pen with this Grand Prism color, because I also want to use it. So the pen I use for this ink is the Asvine P50. So, but the nib, I fit the Fountain Pen Revolution Ultra Flex nib on this pen, because I really want to use a flex nib for this kind of light, colorful ink, which will show. Wait, that's fine. Yeah, sorry. Which will show up the ink color the most. I think it looks pretty nice with this kind of ultra flex nib, where I can lay down more ink on paper. So it's the Flex EF. Yeah, and the ink is Colorverse. From Prism. Yeah, so this is also, yeah, if I smear it this way, it's almost shared out completely. So I would guess that this might be a good alternative for some titles, or you wanna do some hand lettering, which I don't do as much, but it's nice to have. And for the Ink Studio 252, I also inked it up in my pens. So my Delta Duna has some issue with the piston in the back, in the past, and I sent it for service. It did take a few months for it to get back to me, but right now it's all fixed. I think the ink Sailor Studio works pretty well in this pen as well. I always try to make use of this pen even before I got it back, but I think this could be something I'll use for a while. So this is called an elastic EF, so it will not flex as much as the Fountain Pen Revolution Flex nib, but it does has some line variation when pressure got applied to the nib. Yeah, and yeah, this ink is I think it's not the most wet, but I think for this pen it will lay down some more, some that make it more, so make it more obvious, the shading of the ink, make it more obvious. And I also have another pen. So when I was inking this, trying this ink out, I kind of debating which I want to use it in. I end up inking both of them because I also want to test out the PenBBS 456. So the PenBBS nibs are always some of my favorite steel nibs. And this colorway of the pen body is called Niangao or rice cake, and it has their, I forgot if it's the blade nib, but I think PenBBS generally has two kinds of nib. It's either a blade fine nib or a round, yes, this is the blade fine nib, or a round medium nib. So so right now I can already see, even with the same ink, the PenBBS ink, PenBBS pen 456 appeared slightly drier, and then the ink color will show slightly different, so it looks slightly less purpley. I think even it looks even more lean towards a brownish pink, if that something that it makes sense to you. So yeah, I think if you want it to be a little bit more legible, some weather pen will work better with this ink. But I do think that this PenBBS 456 has some charm with this specific ink in it. Yeah, that's the new pen and ink I'm testing now from this purchase. But I think I want to add one more pen test, or like a swatch in this video is for the Pilot. It's also a Pilot pen. It's the Pilot 743, but it has a flex nib. It has a falcon nib on it. So this falcon nib definitely looks significantly different from the elastic or the soft nib I got from the custom 742. So this is a Pilot custom 743 with a falcon nib. Yeah, and the ink I have in here is actually the Sailor Manyo Dew Shade Haha. So yeah, that's what this is also something I developed recently, is that I think it's best to put this dew shading or has heavy sheen ink in some of, or lighter inks in some of my flex nib pens, which will exaggerate or enhance the property of the ink better. Yeah. So these are my new pen and ink tests. I'm very happy to have this limited edition Vanishing Point in my collection. I don't think I will swatch it for fine or extra fine nib for this one, because I will be using a A5 Hobonichi cousin next year, and I think this will be very good to enable me to write larger in a larger notebook. Yeah, with that, thank you. Have a good day. Bye.